Okay, so thanks for watching, and hello to, I believe, Band Factory people, Music Hub people. What I'm going to do is quickly run you through my setup that I used to create that performance, and it's just a general home kind of recording setup. Whoa, the autofocus is going mad. Yeah, I'll show you how I've set up, and then also talk you through the tunings I used in the songs, so that guitarists, especially you guys, can try out those kind of tunings and think about different ways to kind of enforce creativity upon yourself to come up with new riffs, new sounds, that kind of thing. So for starters, this cable here is coming from my guitar, going first into my compressor pedal. This is just a tuner that I was using. Into my compressor pedal. This helps me smooth out the dynamics in my tone. Really useful for doing the tapping kind of stuff I was doing in that second piece, Diffract. It kind of brings up the lowest, quietest notes that you hit, so obviously the things I was tapping, and really makes them sound a lot more punchy. But then it also sort of crushes down the higher, louder notes, like when I'm really strumming hard. It brings the volume of those down, and it kind of just squishes the dynamic range together. So it really, especially playing acoustic, smooths out your tone to sound a lot nicer, a lot less harsh. Then I was just going into this, which is my chorus pedal. Nothing special going on there, just like the sound of it really. And then into my looper. So both songs I used this. I've still got it queued up from the last song, so you can see how I used the different layers to produce the end of the song. So I started off with this layer. You hit this to record, and then that to stop, or you hit that again to dub another layer on. So that's what I was doing there. So I've got that layer. I had my kind of thump on here, kick drum thump. I hope you can hear this. I can stop it all here. Anyway, you get the idea. So those are my pedals. Into my looper, into my audio interface. So this is the key thing you really need to be able to record at home. It's essentially a sound card, and it's got inputs that allow you to put your instruments in. So you can see I've put my jack cable, just a normal jack cable, into the direct input there. This is where I would have headphones, and then I've got an XLR going into the back for my microphone. This is a USB cable, so that just goes into the computer, and then you download drivers for it. And these are just going into my speakers, which I have at the front here. Yeah, so setup goes into there. One other thing I have as well is, which you would have seen down here, this vocal pedal, which is actually really good. The kind of singing that I was doing, really soft, kind of subtle thing, which works really well on record because I can layer up loads of vocals and harmonies and stuff, but performing it live, quite difficult to have it sound good while singing at such a low pitch and such a soft tone. So I have this doubling function on the left, basically just doubles my voice, so it just kind of thickens out the tone a bit, and then I've got this a little bit of pitch correction on there as well, just to smooth out any wobbles or anything I have. Oh, wobbles, there you go. Yeah, really good though, really improves the tone, so I can recreate what I have on record live. So now I'll take you to what I do in the box. As you can see, this is still recording in here. I've got the gain really low, probably too low, so I hope you can actually hear what I'm saying. Oh boy. These are the takes that I did. First three are all for the first song, this is for the last song. So this is called a digital audio workflow program. I think workstation, I don't know. Anyway, this is like your Pro Tools, Logic, GarageBand, whatever. They all generally do the same thing. So you can have your audio inputted through the audio interface into your computer, and you record it in here. And then, as you can see, you can have multiple tracks and layer things up. I'm sure a lot of you probably know that. Anyway, that's my live setup. So now, real quick, a couple interesting things that I did with my guitar tuning that you can try. So in the first song, just normal tuning, except I'm a tone down. I tune everything a a tone down, so this is a D. My bottom string is a D instead of an E. But otherwise, all the same, except the B string, which I tuned up a semitone, so it's now a C. I'll talk like I'm playing in standard tuning, because that's probably a lot easier than trying to transpose everything in my head. Yeah, so this is essentially now a C. So it does mean, because I'm playing in C major, I can have that ring out in every single chord that I play. So I have an F, I have this kind of diminished inversion, I have an A minor 7, I have a G inversion. So I can have that note in everything, and the E as well, because they're both in the key. A B natural would be in key, but it just doesn't sound as good with every single chord. Obviously a C is going to fit with every chord in C major. And another thing I think it really does for the song, I never actually use a C major chord, so it feels like the chord progression wants to come back around to resolve to C. That would sound like this. And then you see, which for me in the song just sounded kind of cheesy. So I wanted to not use that. But I think having the C note ringing out in every single chord kind of really grounds it, gives it a bit of stability there, and gives you a little bit of satisfaction of still hearing that C note. But you want to hear the chord progression over and over, because it never really properly resolves. So that's something you can try. Write in a key where you never use the root chord of the key, chord 1. So C major, you never use C. A minor, you never use A. Whatever it might be. And it makes you want to hear it over and over again. So now the second song I did. Okay, so this one is in open C tuning, which I'm sure some of you have probably played with before. So we've got C, G, C, G, C, E. So just a C major chord basically, where you've got the root there, the root there, the root there, all your C's. Then you've got the fifth, the G, there and there, and then the major third on top. So it means you can just fret it open. It sounds really pretty. You could just bar the whole thing. And that sounds quite nice. It's quite easy. But the thing I think is really good about it is if you just fret the bottom 2 or 3 strings, which is kind of like how you're playing in drop D. If a lot of guitarists, I imagine, have played in drop D. It's a similar kind of idea, but you can play all the open strings above it and you get all these nice chord extensions. So for example, and a lot of the fingering that you do across each string is going to be the same fret. So all 5 of those strings you can just fret open, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, and you can do all these kind of noodly little runs. So it's quite fun, quite an easy tuning. It's like easy mode. Really fun to do. So definitely give that a try. Give both the tunings a try, and just think about ways where you could just tune one string a little bit differently so it fits the key that you're playing in, and you can get all kinds of nice, colourful extensions by using the open strings. But yeah, hopefully that was quite interesting and quite useful. I've already done this twice and I didn't record either of them, the audio, so there's me, a professional. I'm just really hope that I recorded it this time. Hope you're having a nice lockdown, and I hope you're staying creative and practicing and playing your instruments. See ya!